The last speaker, he is presenting on behalf of his team, Mr. Budianastas Prastyatama. He's from Architecture Department, Universitas Katolik Parahyangan, Indonesia. He's a PhD candidate at Taubman College, University of Michigan, and architect and educator. His research interest is in the intersection of architecture design, post-disaster housing efforts, building technology, and participatory approaches. He's interested in unpacking the interface of architecture and the building technology to empower itself and the community. His co-authors are Dr. Aldyfra Luhulima Lukman, Assistant Professor Anastasia Maurina, Assistant Professor Ari Ani Mandala, and Ms. Laurentia Carissa.
Hello, everyone. I'll be presenting our findings from the assessing the equitable benefits of the service learning programs in architecture education at our Department of Architecture. My name is Budi, and this presentation is based on the work of a group of lecturers at Department of Architecture, Universitas Katolik Parahyangan, or we call it UNPAR, with shared research interests, of which I'm a part of. We have been doing learning on the fly process of service learning since 2014 to integrate hands-on teaching and learning in architecture with community service program and faculty research. And the topic area that we will discuss today is the evaluation of our past service learning programs to address the notion of benefit, but actually we'll be discussing about exclusively on the student benefit. And the issues explored would be the assigned and selected roles relative to the perceived benefits, and also the extent the participating students benefited from the service learning program. The purpose of this presentation is to share the learned points, as well as to learn from the experience of other institutions, and also to collect feedback. The content of our presentation will be the background, evaluation points, methodology, summary of past service learning works, findings, and also our afterthoughts. The background of our service learning program has been the Indonesian higher education's three dharma, or three obligations, that include teaching, research, and community service. UNPAR itself, as an institution, is still undergoing a gradual shift from a teaching university that operationalized the three dharma in what Bender called the silo model towards a research university that integrates the three elements in the adherence to the 2015 regulations by the Indonesian Ministry of Higher Education. Our view on service learning is in line with the Bringle and Hatcher's that view service learning as an educational experience in which students participate in an organized service activity that meets identified community needs and reflects on the service activity in such a way as to gain further understanding of course content, a broader appreciation of the discipline, and an enhanced sense of civic responsibility. We couple this view with our initial motivations to help architectural students to learn and understand unpopular subjects through the hands-on format that aimed to exploit the three pedagogical avenues of affective, cognitive, and psychomotor channels. Our two evaluation points are first, the assigned and selected roles relative to the perceived benefits, and second, the extent the participating students benefited from the service learning programs. As for the methods, we utilized the focus group discussions between students and faculty, and then categorically tabulate the gathered opinions to capture relationships and the general salient points, and then analyzing those points to map the connections and relationships between them. We made 5 points of inquiry to structure the discussion and categorize the collected responses or opinions during the FGD. This include first, the motivations and expectations, and the second, the roles, the third, relationships with stakeholders, fourth, the processes, and fifth, the benefits from the program. Our past programs revolved around the involved faculty's shared interest in ecological building technology and design, renewable local materials, improving local construction methods, and non-formal learning avenues. We have worked mainly with bamboo quite significantly and collaborated with communities in rural areas in the Greater Bandung area. Bandung is our hometown. Two key findings are first, the experience benefits confirmed through the analysis of the students' opinions collected through the FGD. And second, the possible framework or conceptual model that might offer an equitable platform for program stakeholders. First, here, the tracing of the benefits through the following animated diagram showing the connections between categories. If you see the column on the far left, it shows the primary motivations of students to joining the surface learning programs, while the second and third from the left are considered the secondary motives. Although some participants might consider these second and third column as their primary ones. We believe these motives were the impetus for students to decide to participate in the program, and later informed them to decide whether the assigned roles would be suitable for them or whether they should propose to take up different roles. We found out that project types, stakeholders, and funding types were determinants in formulating the specific roles required to conduct a community service or surface learning program. Since we oriented our programs towards physical implementations, the roles offered to students typically would include those related to project constructions and field management. Here, student participants found that the processes were demanding, yet at the same time, they were also enjoyable. We understand this as the capacity or opportunity afforded in the programs to balance program goals driven by the constraints of time, demands, design problems, and owner or user interventions, as well as the benefits that participants could observe and relate to. We also find that this balancing of constraints and benefits was pivotal to student participants to recognize the tangible and intangible benefits that they believe were the outcome of the processes. We group the findings into soft and hard skills with their respective derivatives that vary between individuals. In turn, the beneficial gains enable the participants to gauge whether those acquired individual benefits met or even exceeded their personal expectations at the beginning of the program. In summary, our findings show that all students who participated in the FGD had their expectations fulfilled or even exceeded through the programs. And second, the processes that utilize consideration between assigned and selected roles afforded the participated students to have their expectation fulfilled. And the third, the students indicated they acquired benefits that we learned to have covered the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor aspects of learning, including a better understanding of the unpopular subjects. Another important findings in this is this conceptual model of the interconnected elements of Tridharma through integrated activities. At the core of the program are the research, design as the medium of architectural teaching and learning, and also construction of prototypes as the medium for community engagement and field testing for research finding. The outputs are scientific publications, improved knowledge and skills for the students, and facilitations and popular publications as part of the community service activities that we hope to be able to expand in the future. Nevertheless, we believe that this model provides an equalizing platform for the university students and the community to gain shared benefits from the program. Learning from Bender, our conceptual model of community engagement is similar to Bender's infusing or cross-cutting the model that characterizes the model of the engaged university through collaboration with community elements that apply to the elements of research, teaching, learning, and community engagement. Our discussion also brought up some afterthoughts. First, the community benefits have not yet been fully addressed. Another evaluative inquiry on this matter is in order to get the complete perspective of the program benefits. Second, the integrated service learning or community service programs as presented here have not been frequently implemented at the Department of Architecture. Our department is still evolving and different groups may be adopting different paradigms and approaches to community service and service learning. And third, no particular model of engagement is superior to another. Institutions and departments might interpret service learning and the notions of benefit differently. We agree with Bender that the conceptual models do not illustrate the progression from a lesser one towards a better or ultimate model. Rather, they should reflect and accommodate the immediate solutions that universities or departments in a university dwell in. Thank you very much.